Musto0063 back for more Make a Good Mega Man level contest number 2. We're still going through tier 8, I think I'm probably about half of the way through. And yeah, last time ended on this slight cliffhanger here. Whether or not this is actually a Spark holding the sign here, I'm not sure, but yeah, let's see what the README guy has to say. Motion sickness man. Okay, so it's probably not a Spark. Blur. The level next to me had to be disqualified due to one judge, a Spark, getting severe motion sickness from playing it. It's not the only reported case either, so if you have a history with motion sickness problems, please shoot the switch to turn off the intense bouncing. So yes, we can do that. I'm going to leave it on, but I guess obviously going to say right here and now, yeah, motion sickness warning for this level. So if you do have problems with motion sickness or like levels violently, or screens violently shaking around, then yeah, I exercise caution with this stage. If you want to skip this one, again, by all means, I don't want anyone watching this to get physically ill. Obviously, that is what happened to a Spark. So yeah. Disqualified. B28, Bouncy Castle. Score 34.0. 40, 29, 34, 33. X. Score divided by 4, obviously, because one judge wasn't able to give it a score. Motion sickness warning. And here's a little rip sign around a Sparks. But yeah, let's get into the level. 1 energy element and 2 noble nickels. And yeah, if I'm going to pause here again and just say, yeah, if this is causing any discomfort in you, just seeing what this is going on, stop watching this video, scroll ahead to the next stage, because hopefully I'm going to get through this stage and do more than that in just this one video. But yeah, if you're having any problems, please skip ahead now. But I think this is a kind of a fun level, if not somewhat frustrating at times due to the bouncing kind of a mechanic here. But I'm going to say my 2 cents now, and I'll say as much at the end as well. And I think I've said it earlier on as well. I really do not think this stage should have been disqualified. I don't know why. I mean, ultimately, it's still placed, in the tier, in tier 8 where it would have placed, had it not been disqualified. But still, I mean, it absolutely sucks. Obviously, that a Spark, suffered motion sickness with this stage, but to disqualify the level based on that, I think ultimately it wasn't going to win. Obviously, as you see here, it's placed in tier 8, so you could see where it would have placed had it not been disqualified. But I feel like the decision to disqualify it was really harsh, actually. But I can sort of see why, but I feel like this level could have stood alone with its 4 judges. I don't feel like it needed to necessarily be disqualified, but oh well. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure where I should be going here. Can I even grab that ladder? Probably with the bouncing. I don't know why I'm even trying to do that. I don't know why I'm not just using wheel cutter or something. Oh good, no one nickel up here, good. And I probably should have gone there, or now I'm having to wait around. Not that it's taking too long. And yeah, stuff like that. It probably looks very humorous, but yeah, cannot half be frustrating when you're doing it, because I feel like it's sort of timed out so that you should kind of know when it's going to happen, but it isn't half disorientating and hard to judge at times. I feel like I probably should do a better job of figuring out when or how violently and when I'm going to sort of shoot up, but it is tricky to judge. Let me just say that. I'm not actually quite sure now whether this stage has got 2 piles or whether I need to go in both those teleporters. I'll mess around at some point in time and actually see what happens. Unless we do loop back and I noticeably have to go in that second teleporter. So I can't remember whether ultimately now I'm stuck on a path and we wouldn't get to see everything. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. I do like this kind of thing as well. So whoa, I do like that idea, but again, like I said, with it being incredibly difficult at times to predict when the screen's going to shake, when Mega Man is going to just, shoot up, it's difficult. And I felt like I'd waited. Wow, are you serious? I felt like I'd waited. Yeah, this is going to be loads of clumsy deaths here, because I say this mechanic is going to cause a lot of really clumsy looking deaths from jumps that I'm in the middle of making that all of a sudden I don't make because of stuff of the bouncing kind of throwing Mega Man in the air. But Yeah, I really did feel like I'd waited more than long enough here with the shaking for not to shake again quite so soon. You know, for me to not land and not get propelled into the spikes, but I'm going to be extra cautious here. Okay, so it's after the really big jump that Mega Man makes, then, by the look of it. It seems to stop shaking for a while. Except not there. So let's just wait here. I want to see if there's going to be a time where Mega Man jumps high. Okay, there was a tiny hop there at the end, but it does seem to be, you know, if I can after that big the big drop, the big jump. Although, yeah, as I said, a tiny hop afterwards. So okay, that's good to know, and I'll try and use that as a judge for when I should. Did not appreciate that was going to happen. For when I should be setting off on jumps and such like that. For the most part. It might not always be the case, but oh well. Okay. I'd like to jump up there if possible, please. Thank you. Mega Man Walnut. Whee! I don't know what's making the world bounce up and down so much, but standing here riding out is so much fun. Okay, there is nothing over there. I thought there would be something that would be a place to hide a Noble Nickel, but apparently not. Okay, and we're back. Well, none of we're back actually. This is probably, you know, it's okay, completely new area. So I will replay the stage with the other, going in the other teleporter. I'm actually going to go down first, just to see whether there's a Noble Nickel hiding. There's another 2 teleporters, really? Okay. Or maybe the Noble Nickel's in here. It is. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to try and get rid of these things. With Slash Claw, presumably? Oh, that might be hard taking them out with the bouncing. Yeah, I didn't think the triple blade there was actually going to take them out. That was more just to try and stun them. But clearly didn't work. Let's give the Yoku blocks a few tries, and if I can't pull it off, I'll just resort to using some utility item. But we've managed it. Fine, cool. And there might actually be 2 almost complete playthroughs here if I've got another 2 teleports to take, and they differ in terms of the stage, in terms of the level they bring me to. But obviously, I won't have to do 1 extra playthrough because I can just take the alternate routes I didn't take. And I took both left teleporters, so again, just makes it easier to remind myself where I've been and where I haven't been. And yeah, this bouncing with the already bouncing nature of the stage just makes things really hectic. Yeah, you are going to go after the bolts first. Lovely. So I don't have to worry about that, Emily. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this with the additional bouncing things here. You can get some pretty extraordinary height, and just pull off some really nice looking things. And that's not very good though. Health would be nice. Ding it. Okay. This has the potential to be interesting, but awkward. I will say that. Yeah, and as I say, it's difficult perhaps to gauge, obviously without playing it itself, how potentially fun this would be for you. But yeah, just sort of going through this as well. I think this is a really fun stage for the most part, and I was disappointed to see it get disqualified. I think that was kind of a real shame, because it's a fun level. So that being said, of course, if you did not appreciate there were spikes up there. Okay, so I did not want to jump high on. Okay, reach the checkpoint. That's nice. Oh, yeah, I saw the bouncing things on the ceiling there, but no, I did not twig. They were spikes on the ceiling here. So I need to avoid using the bouncing things on the floor. Okay, cool, fine. I sense you'll want me to try and go that way, or there will be some benefits going this way, above and beyond going the other way. Maybe not though. Oh gosh, that thing is that fan is actually, of course, active and still glowing, and I can't attack it. By the way, again, it's one of those enemies that's sort of discoloured to the point where I actually can't attack it. Okay, it was just for an M tank, which I already have full, or already have one anyway. So fine. I like the Mega Man 2. Is it the Mega? Yeah, it looks. So to me, maybe it's not supposed to be that. I don't know. It looks to me like the Mega Man 2 ending sort of graphic in the background, where Mega Man's having to defeat Dr. Wily, starts walking home and leaves his helmet in the field. That's certainly what that looks like to me, anyway. Anyway, time for the boss. Bounding Crashman, I think he's called. He does work a little bit differently to regular Crashman. As you can see here, he does still do his. He does still jump, and you obviously have to avoid those. But yeah, the crash bombs this time come down from the ceiling. He also does this really irritating sort of shockwave fan attack, which wouldn't be so bad if not for the bouncing gimmick. I say bad, but hard to avoid is probably a more accurate term. Because of course you are, yeah, you look like you're going to be fine, you're on the ground, oh that's going above my head, and all of a sudden, whoop, shake, shake, and the screen ends up, you end up, yeah, just bouncing up into them. So anyway, yeah, level's done, one energy, we've got the energy, one energy, it would all loop back round to there, so there is only one exit to the stage, but, and I got the 2 noble nickels, but I don't think it was too far to go to get to the teleporter, so let's do that. If I end up teleporting to the same, it would seem weird if I did, frankly. Otherwise, what's the point of having the 2 teleporters there? So I'm somewhat expecting there to be additional new stuff in the other teleporter that I didn't go on. But if that's not the case, I'll obviously just exit the level, or actually I'll cut to the second set of teleporters and we'll check that out. So I do want to check those out as well. But yeah, I suppose if the first one's anything to go by, and I don't get anywhere new, then chances are the second one's also going to do that. But I'll make sure I check. I think this is around about here, isn't it? Where they are? Yeah, okay, fine. So we'll go on this one this time. Yes. This is new. Cool. So we'll go this way this time. And immediately, potentially feeling like the other way would be the safer bet, given there are pits here, but we'll see how that pans out. Okay, tiny hop, and then we're done. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it is. I can follow the pattern now of the shaking to when it's going to stop. At least I like to think I can, anyway. So that's good. There, very helpful to get that down. This thing could be incredibly annoying. Although if you're going to spend ages on the other side of the screen, maybe not. Are you actually going to open up while I'm still over here or not? Doesn't look like it. I don't think I can quite get close enough. So big, one small hop, and then we've got a bit of time to progress. Tiny, go. I'd really like to get closer to that thing. I can take them out pretty nicely anyway. We'll get the bolts, why not? I mean, I don't know if this could be irritating. I don't know if I'm at the end of this area at the moment, but this was actually far less troublesome than I thought it might be, actually, with the pits and the potential, obviously, for the shaking mechanic to get annoying. But it's actually, yeah, easier than I thought it was going to be. Not sure if I'd say any one part is easier over the other one, then, funnily enough. Okay, well, progressing on. So we'll have a little bit of a level to get through again before we get to the second teleporter. But oh well, that was just a secret, wasn't it? Oh, no, we haven't. It's right down here. Never mind. And we'll go in the right teleporter this time, and we'll go into this area, which was a very Napalm. Oh no, it doesn't. I was about to say Napalm Man themed again, but no, that's completely wrong. It's Stone Man. Never mind. just got so used to seeing Napalm Man. Now that I'm seeing Napalm Man assets when he actually isn't. Okay, yeah, those platforms with this mechanic could get a little bit awkward. Just hopefully no pits, and I'll be accepting of them, let's just put it that way. Oh dear. But I think actually this is rather generous in the sense that I don't believe anything here is a pit. If you fall down here, I think you just effectively you get to climb up the ladder again. So yeah, if I do fall off here, right at the friggin' end, are you joking? I think you can just yeah, climb back up and do it again. So which is really nice as well, and I think obviously an appreciation for the fact that I think at least anyway. Well, that's a bit disappointing actually. Maybe you don't even need to pull it off. That was a bit disappointing, but oh well. We'll call that. I guess we'll call that the end of that area then. I haven't got any utility items to play around with there. I've got wire, which I can't seem to select, by the way, for some reason. I cannot seem to select wire through this menu, so I have to do it via this then. Seems a little odd. I presume I can't go back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I didn't manage to pull off the section with the Gutsman platform section completely. It's a bit of a shame, but I think we were pretty much at the end there, so I don't think we missed too much there. And I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting there for the level to end for some reason. I'm not sure why. I obviously saw there was a kind of a boss gate, if you will. So yeah, again, I like the interesting sort of you know, again, mid-boss or sub-boss fights with the bouncing or the shaking screen mechanic going on. And yeah, this will take us back out to here, to the end of the level, and yeah, lovely. I won't bother fighting Bounding Crashman again because yeah, I've already taken him out. But yeah, anyway, pleased to manage to get to show off both sets of paths, or indeed all paths through that stage by going through both sets of teleporters in the two when I doing the two options I had. So yeah, overall, I don't know if you can just whether there's a difference in the tone of my voice or anything like that. I can sort of detect a little bit, but whether it's not as noticeable to you. I really enjoyed that level. That was a lot of fun. And some of the clumsy deaths there, like, you know, bounding into spikes or indeed like falling into a pit where I sort of mistimed the jump. I don't know, I feel like I'm much more accepting of them. And they're sort of, well, if nothing else, they sort of demonstrate how the mechanic works, and that you have to, and there are clever sections designed around that, particularly with the spikes on the ceiling, so, you know, to pay attention to those and obviously not jump or use the springs or whatever when that kind of gimmick is in effect. So I really like that. But yeah, I'm much more forgiving of like the clumsy deaths there than might be on some other levels. But no, overall, I really enjoyed that. I think it was I think with something like a mechanic such like that as well. Normally, I'm not one for liking to take lots of damage during the levels. So just like, you know, again, it's the perfect run person in me. You know, just wanting to kind of get through and whiz through and not take damage. But not that I haven't been accepting of damage when I'm not doing perfect runs, but in this level, I'm kind of like completely just shrug the damage off and don't get annoyed by it at all. And just like, okay, yeah, fine. That was the physics of the thing. It's difficult to avoid, and I'm just much more accepting of the kind of the difficulty challenge there in dealing with enemies or dealing with pits and such like that. So yeah, I really liked that stage. It was such a shame it was unfortunately disqualified. I'm pleased ultimately that it was placed in the proper, in its rightful position tier-wise where it would have been had A-Spark obviously not had all these problems with it. But yeah, I think it was very disappointing to see it disqualified. I think it was any level that deserved to be disqualified. It was the one in tier 1 that pretty much just copied the Dev Kit Pharaoh Man stage and just pretty much just you put a few extra enemies in it and just left it at that. That one should have been disqualified. This one, I mean, yeah, it sucks ultimately that A-Spark couldn't play it, and that, you know, that obviously it's going to affect other people as well, which is not good. You obviously don't want the players of your game to be physically sick, but yeah, I don't know. I've said it so many times now, but I think that's just ultimately my overriding thought. I'm disappointed to see this get officially disqualified, but oh well. Oh my god, this level is the most unfocused thing in the universe, and I love it for that. It just takes its gimmick and runs with it. There's like half the enemies in this game used, and they are just bounding up and down everywhere, and it's the dumbest thing ever. My experience of playing the level was basically, oh my god, is this enemy? Oh no, how is it going to use this? It just keeps you on your toes, it's just so great. I do have some issues with the design though, namely the first section of the boss. The first section is by far the weakest part of the level, mostly because of the Sniper Joe setup, which just takes a literal eternity to get through, and it's really difficult to actually take care of. The level really picks up after it though, because it really just runs with the gimmick. There's alternate paths and tons of stuff, and even with how wacky the level gets with its theme jumping all over the place and it using like half the dev kit enemies, it still manages to create coherent gameplay with it, mostly because the rooms themselves have specific ideas, and it isn't just a free-for-all for the whole level. Fave is definitely the Nightman room. It's just ridiculously fun to have so much bouncing. Boss though, I'm not a huge fan of. The raining bomb attack is fine, but the shield attack seems very inconsistent to actually dodge, because you can't guarantee that the attack and the Bouncing Castle gimmick will line up with its timing. The good definitely outweighs the bad though, and it's a really fun level. I'm sorry, but I don't think this gimmick was thought through enough. The bounciness often sends you flying straight into enemy attacks and vice versa. There also does seem to be a pattern between the times of bounciness, making it even harder to get around. Based on that, on there, I disagree with that comment. I feel like I was, after, it might take a bit of time to get used to it, but I was certainly, I believe, able to sort of recognise when was going to be the big jump, and then there was going to be a little hop after that, and then after that, it would give you the most time to progress through the stage without the shaking occurring again. So, I disagree with that comment. It's difficult to get used to, but I definitely think there's a pattern to it. Let me just say that. Anyway, it felt like the stage was made normally, and then the bounce effect was added later. Unfortunately, most of my enjoyment in this level got quickly overshadowed by the unpredictable nature of the Bouncy Castle, which lies both at the core of the level, but is also what makes it hard for me to enjoy the level to its fullest. While I love the bouncing effects and really like the setups you provide that are built around this mechanic, such as in the opening room or the fan area of the castle section, big chunks of the level didn't seem to be particularly built around the mechanic. Aside from that, if I were able to predict the timing and height of my jumps more accurately, planning around the enemy's bounces would have been a lot easier and more consistent, making the level overall fairer and more strategically orientated. All this needs is a bit more telegraphing as to where the bounce happens. Taking away the initial bounce effect and having it be purely visual might be enough. As it stands though, while I like the concept of the level and just had some silly fun by bouncing all over the place, my method of actually advancing this level is staying away from the ground as much as possible and otherwise playing the level like any other. Although the idea behind this level is really interesting, it ironically ruins it for me. There's generally little wrong with the level itself, it looks pretty, the level design is fair, it's fun overall, but having Mega Man consistently bounce around makes it hard to make jumps over pits or hit enemies, and shortly after you find yourself tired from all this. Honestly, I feel like removing the main gimmick altogether would just improve the level overall. This level made me physically ill about a minute into it, therefore I'm unable to give it a fair review as I'm unable to play it. It was a very clever idea, but somehow in execution it's unbearable. You have too much motion going on, I think, is a problem, and vertical motion is not something certain people suffering with motion sickness can deal with. I'm kind of glad we caught this early. We don't want to make the play base unwell. Yeah, sucks for Spark that he was actually unable to play this, because, yeah. Hopefully he would have got some enjoyment out of it, because I think it's a really good level. And up we go. And these things still don't hurt me. And there's Quick Man and Snake Man. Let's see if we can catch up with either of them. Fine, we can't. We can get it with Snake. Well, we can get it with Snake Man. Running around in circles sure is fun. Let's see if we can get Quick Man this time. No. Okay. Finding it very, very difficult to... Like, Snake Man I can register, but Quick Man for some reason I can't seem to actually register. I'm sure I was able to before, but he's just, yeah, he's dancing around all over the place now and I can't seem to catch up with him. I'll see if I can catch up with him maybe later. I don't want to catch up with him later, come on, let's do it now. I can't get him though. And now we're seeing stuff from later on, which is just, maybe if I try running at him? There we are, got him. Phew, I may look fast, but Snake Man is actually many laps ahead of me. Yeah, it's a pretty nice joke as well. I don't want to miss out on that. Yeah, anyway, finally caught up to him. So, moving on. 21st place, Gone Sovereign. City Under Siege. Score 34.6. 36, 36, 27, 38, 36. So, 4 very similar scores. Indeed, 3 exactly the same scores, and 1 slightly lower score. But not still too low. Anyway, 1 energy element and 2 noble nickels. With Snake Man in the teleporter with me and Quick Man on top of the teleporter. Let's go. Nothing to the left. Dr. Wily. Bzzz. Attention, citizens of New Harbour. This is the brilliant scientist and soon-to-be ruler of the world, Dr. Albert Wily. My robots and I currently have the city under siege. All highways connecting to the city have been destroyed. Make no attempt to escape, if you value your life. Mr. Mayor, you have 48 hours to surrender the city to me, or else I will command my robot army to slaughter all humans until you change your mind. And if that blue brat Mega Man is watching this, good luck getting past my robot minions. If you do survive, my fortress is located at 721 5th Avenue. There's an old friend waiting to see you. Okay. I really like the look of this stage, let me just say that. Might not look what amazing at the moment, but it's certainly going to. Not that I think this looks bad by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, I really like the design of this stage. It's very nicely put together, let's just say that. And overall the level is really solid, I think, from memory. Okay, I haven't seen those enemies in a while. And of course, yeah, we've got the block things from Mega Man 9, which with the differently tile-setted one, or different ones with a different tile set, the sort of ones where the 4 squares are much more pronounced, are the ones that you drop through. So I actually want that, don't I? After my previous clumsiness. So yeah, watch out for those. I can't remember if we're going to see those over pits. But again, we've seen them sort of, I think, a couple of times now. Both times where they were over solid ground. We do indeed see them over pits now. So yeah, again, when you introduce a gimmick, although this gimmick will be known to, you know, Mega Man players for Mega Man 9, but not everyone will have played Mega Man 9. So yeah, if you're going to introduce something like that, make it so the first instance of it is over safe ground. Right, we have a rush jet section here. And I could cheese this by putting dual satellite on, I think. But let's try and maybe do it the way it was intended. Yeah, dual satellite. If you've got enemies that are like one-hit kills, you could pretty much probably just put dual satellite on for the entire duration of this rush jet section and not really have to do anything else. I've nearly missed the Noble Nickel there. That would have been a disaster. Good grief. Just watch out and see if the second one is also on this rush jet section as well, and make sure I don't miss it. It doesn't look like it is, though. So maybe it's just hiding in another part of the level. That was not what I wanted, Eddie. Bad Eddie. Yeah, if I don't imagine anyone would have trouble, frankly, with that rush jet section, but if for some reason you are, dual satellite would be the way to go. Yeah, anyway, now we're getting into the city look of the level. Which looks very nice, I must admit. Complete with, you know, fences, balconies, such like that. Yeah, it's really, really, really nice look to this level. Wily on the television as well. Okay, we've reached 5th Avenue. I think that was where we were supposed to go. 721st, wasn't it? And a nice little fake out there that I did not see coming. Or did not remember happened. Oh good, the second Noble Nickel is in plain sight and I don't have to do too much to get it. Lovely. Yeah, I think I'll just take you out from a distance and then probably just use... Actually, I'll probably just use Wheel Cutter, frankly. Okay, now we get into what I think is a bit more of a hectic portion of the stage. Clearly, we've got spikes, not to say all over the place, but yeah, much more threatening and difficult side of the stage we've got now. But I don't think it's too bad. That being said, I'm probably going to screw up at least once, but I don't think it's too bad. Just be very careful, particularly in sections like this. And obviously what you want to do here is appreciate that yeah, some of these blocks are not solid and we can jump through the bottom of them. So rather than having to pull off unnecessarily tight cliff jumps, yeah, just jump through the blocks that are or that have got, yeah, hollow bottoms. That set of jumps there looks particularly awkward. And I'm almost debating whether to just leave the Hammer Joe there and use it to take damage to get through. But okay, if you jump low and then slide through, it seems to be okay. So fair enough. Oh dear. Dang it. But thank you for that. Dang it. Oh, there's a... Ooh. Cool. thought there was going to be bound to be something in there once I saw the gaps there. Hopefully it wasn't going to be something like hidden spikes or something that was going to kill me. But yeah, cool. And again, the blocks there that allow us to go down. Transition us into another Mecha Dragon fight. So I think this is the second one of the tier, and a lot more threatening this one. So yeah, the moving conveyor belts here make this pretty hectic. Although if you can get into sort of a pattern where you sort of alternate as I'm doing here, yeah, again, has a pretty sort of dreadful start, and hopefully the end doesn't go to pot. But if you can sort of alternate between, I would say, the middle platform and or height-wise, sorry, and the top platform, then you sort of end up faking out the Mecha Dragon's fireballs pretty nicely, in my opinion. Well, yeah, the pattern seems to work pretty nicely if you do that. So, yeek! Why? Oh dear, that was a really, really good fight until literally the last moment, and then that had to happen. Wonderful! And with one hit left, by the way, as well. In case you're wondering, I would have died even if I'd like finished the fight here, because yeah, that is still a pit. So if I fall in the pit, even after I've killed the Mecha Dragon, then I still would have died. But and I can't even put that one down to sliding, which I accidentally did already in this fight, which freaked the hell out of me, because I'm worried I'm going to do it again now. But yeah, that would be probably my main danger, I think, on this fight. Just yeah, accidentally sliding when I don't want to. And I guess as well, once you kind of, as I've sort of done here a little bit, lose the pattern, it can be quite hard to get back into it. But I don't think this fight is too bad. Let me put it that way. And I accidentally slid again there. Oh Jesus! Oh, you're joking me! And I accidentally slid again. Really? 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 I don't know whether that's going to count as collecting the energy elements. I presume it must do. But, oh my god, the sliding is just... Every video I am getting more and more pissed off with this sliding. I mean, I can't actually friggin' believe that happened on, like, the solid platform when they stopped moving there. And there's proof positive, as I mentioned, that, yes, you can die after this fight. So, yeah, even with the... I mean, I think it's somewhat annoying there that the energy element, frankly, like with the other Mecha Dragon fight, doesn't just sort of, like, immediately home in on you. Well, I think it tries to. Maybe it got, like, stuck, obviously. Well, it obviously got stuck on the bottom of the screen there, as you saw. But what I needed to do there was edge along the platforms so that it would sort of... it would eventually move far enough to the right that it would bounce up off the bottom of the floor and away from being under the platforms. But yeah, it would be really nice if there wasn't like an insta-death thing after the fight, and particularly if I'm going to stay on the top platform here. I'm going to tank a few hits, but I'm actually just going to stay up high. And now hopefully we can get this thing moving to the point where I can collect it and not fall off. Yeah, cool. It looked like it was greyed out actually, so I think the thing would have registered, but yeah, anyway. Not too bad of a fight, to be honest, provided, I mean, the slipping all over the place is just... I don't know if it's just going to be me or whether lots of other people experience that problem in this. It may just be with the controller I've got or whatever. Like, just keep hitting the slide button way too often or what. But I don't. It's really annoying. It's really freaking annoying. It's just causing so many unnecessary clumsy deaths. Including on bits where I've actually obviously cleared the level at that point in time. But yeah, anyway, the energy element there, I feel like it would have been good if it had just homed in on... Obviously it's trying to home in on Mega Man, but it's getting stuck on the conveyor belts. But that's a pretty cheap way to sort of lose the fight there. But anyway, I don't have too much of a problem with that Mecha Dragon fight, to be honest. It's stick to the top two platforms, alternate between the two, and you should be fine. I say right at the end there I was just worried about sliding, so I just thought, well, frankly, I'm just going to stick on the top platform. Yeah, fine, I'll tank some damage, but I've nowhere near dying. If I stay on the top platform, even if I accidentally slide, I've got another chance to save myself, but whereas, you know, so that's what I decided to do right at the end there. But you saw me do a pretty good job on that fight, I think, leading Mecha Dragon's fireballs. So yeah, if you alternate between the top two platforms, you should be fine with that, provided you don't accidentally slide all over the place. Alright. But anyway, yeah, a really kind of cute, charming level, and yeah, I like it quite a lot. It doesn't maybe feel like it does maybe too much with a gimmick per se. I think a lot of its you know, problems with its high place here and its high scoring is based on its charm and it's somewhat of a story, I suppose, and it's you know, going through the city areas and such like that, rather than per se having a gimmick to the stage. God, if I'm misremembering a gimmick, I suppose it had the rush jet section, which was nice, or if not, you know, somewhat cheesable with just, you know, putting dual satellite on, which could make it kind of boring, I guess. I mean, I feel like I tried to make it less boring by actually not using dual satellite and actually trying to get through it normally. Yeah, it felt like it didn't probably have a gimmick per se to the stage, maybe other than that rush jet section, which is to say you can cheese. But I don't know why I'm still on the teleport. I don't want to accidentally go in the stage again. Yeah, no, overall, very decent level to look at, and yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit, including the boss fight. I enjoyed that version of the Mecha Dragon too. Okay, what the heck, you somehow took City War and Sunset Siege and combined them and made a pretty good level out of them. Seriously, this level is really good. I like the whole setup of the level, and the intro part is pretty interesting with setups like Sparkman platforms and gachapons. I think it plays really well. Also, woo, slopes. Then there's a freaking Mega Man 8 Rush Jet part. Even though it's not like the most creative use of it ever, it's still really fun. I liked it a lot too. Then you have the City Wall section, which I really liked too. I really love your use of new Shotman here with them above ground. Also, I got totally fooled by that camo metal. Most of this level I just really love how it plays, and I find it super fun. I think there are two things that bring it down for me though. I don't like the use of Sniper Joes here. They just seem to be placed to waste your time. And also it seems that for this level only their weakness Slash Claw was drastically toned down for some ungodly reason. Also the Mecha Dragon fight. Mecha Dragon just really isn't that fun to fight in general, really. Also, it's really easy to get instantly dropped into a pit entering the boss room because there's no way to tell where the platforms are going to be. So first time I got there, I veered to the left for whatever reason and got dumped into a pit. But it's just 2 floors and otherwise pretty good level. Great job here. I was expecting a City War sequel when I saw this level's name, and that's kind of what I got. It's like City War, but better graphics and without all the holes. Seriously, the graphics in this level are great. I really like some parts, like the Rush Jet section, but this level has a pretty ridiculous difficulty spike toward the end. Literally, you spam spikes in that vertical section, and that Mecha Dragon boss really ruined the level. Mecha Dragon on conveyor belts just isn't fun. This level city arena is very beautiful. I really like how it looks, very authentic. However, it doesn't really feel good to play. I get the feeling this level's design was influenced by the aesthetic, which ended up making it feel rather dull, having to rely on a quantity of hazards in order to ramp up the challenge, rather than a clever combination of a mutation of setups. There could have been more done with the illusion blocks, which I found to be an interesting gimmick that got introduced, but unfortunately went largely unused till the end of the stage. The boss is not a lot of fun to play, so standing on either the left platform seems the player tumbling to their death as soon as they get hit. The shmup segment would have been a lot better if you didn't let the player face left too. Very good level. The level design is creative and solid, and there are no cheap spots, with the only problem maybe being the large amount of Sniper Joes. Also like the mini plot and how the level looks, although the level could be a bit better. While the Rush Jet section is quite annoying... Annoying? Really? For me, the biggest experience ruiner is the boss and how hard it is to not fall off the moving platforms. Besides that, it remains a very enjoyable level. Oh no, war's returned to the city. But at least this time workmen have patched in the holes. I mean, there might have been some lawsuits involving that. Pleasantly enough stage, really. It's clear a fair old whack of effort was taken to make this place look like an actual city, even if the tile set doesn't really suit Mega Man at all. The stage didn't do much in the way of anything original, but I have to admit the Concrete Man blocks are handled pretty well, and it usually had me going, huh, neat, every so often. Also loved how these were introduced, probably better than how Capcom themselves introduced the gimmick, if I'm honest. Sparkman platforms got some good usage here, and you slowly increase the difficulty in logical ways. Cool. The Rush Jet segment was a little weird. The lack of obstacles in that area and just enemies made it a little dull. Things that the player is required to shoot outright dodge rather than shoot could have made this more interesting. Not bad though. Enemy selection worked. The stage has mostly a nice pleasant stroll and nothing of note stands out. That might just be the level's issue, generic and just sort of there, but it is a nice sort of there after all. Also, hi Durgan, he managed to be the hardest portion of the stage, mostly due to how easy it is to be knocked into a pit by his fireballs. The stage was fine overall, definitely can see the effort that went into it though.